Focused and fearless. Here's everything you need to know this rush hour of July 8, Monday. I'm Riza Diaz. Kicking off today's rush with hundreds of TNVS providers in Metro Manila, Bacolod, and Cebu going on holiday today to protest the allegedly oppressive system of the LTFRB. Now to this, the LTFRB says you're hostage-ing commuters. Greg Gregorio with the story.
This isn't a hostage. That's Attorney Ariel Inton's response to accusations from the LTFRB that they are hostaging commuters in light of today's transport holiday. Inton, the president of the Lawyers for Commuter Safety and Protection, explained that first and foremost, they never forced their drivers to go on strike.
Sinabi namin sa ating mga TNVS providers, meron kayong kalayaan whether you want to be online or offline. So pag naka-offline ka, good. Pag naka-online ka, masasakyan ka kapag kami nag-book. So, hindi totoo nag-hostage kami ng pasahero because we gave that We gave that freedom to be online or offline.
Recall that Grab said they will not impose penalties on partner drivers and operators that will join the holiday, but will give incentives to those who will accept bookings. And Inton said even if a TNVS driver opts to accept passengers today, he can still show his support for their group.
May sumakay sa kanyang pasahero. Pwede niyang ipaliwanag sa pasahero. Ganito po ang issue kasi sa TNVS. No? Ang hirap po kumuha. Ngayon nga wala pa akong prangkisa. Ano pa rin ako? PA pa rin.
He added that their problems are ultimately caused by the rigorous process that makes it hard for TNVS drivers to get a franchise. The biggest example of this was the deactivation of 8,000 TNVS providers just for using hatchback cars, when there's an existing memorandum that actually allows the use of these models until 2021. Meanwhile, the Anti-Red Tape Authority has expressed its support for LCSP through citing the provisions of RA 11032 or the Ease of Doing Business and Efficient Delivery of Government Services Act of 2018. Bayan Muna Party List has also expressed its support for the group.
Kailangan i-rationalize din natin ito. Pinapasok na yung mga hatchback, tapos ngayon sabihin mo, out na kayo. But, lo and behold, meron palang ang daming naka-ready, no, na sedan yung kanilang sasakyan at pumapasok sila.
Aside from the scheduled strike, the TNVS leaders are set to meet with the LTFRB, the OTR, and ARTA today to air their concerns. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
Here are some of the day's biggest stories. Lawmakers in the upper house are sending their condolences following the death of Senate's longest-serving Sergeant-at-Arms, Jose Balajadia, who passed away on Sunday due to various ailments. In a statement, Senator Dick Gordon says he is saddened by the passing of his good friend and partner in the Blue Ribbon Committee, who was instrumental in ensuring safety and security in the upper chamber. Opposition Senator Kiko Pangilinan meanwhile called Balajadia a man of passion and dedication who have served his role even in trying times, such as the arrest of opposition lawmakers Laila de Lima and Antonio Trillanes. President Duterte again reiterated his wish to appoint Agriculture Secretary Manny Piñol as his point person at the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao after noting a sluggish development in the area. Although he has yet to consult a BARMM interim chief Al-Hajj Murad Ibrahim regarding this plan, and after claiming that he indeed fired GSIS President Jesus Clint Aranas, Duterte said more dismissals may come soon, particularly at the Bureau of Customs. Duterte says corruption is still prevalent in the agency, and the president at the same time defended the installation of ex-military men to several government posts, saying they're the most dependable there is.
Ilagay ko na sa army talaga lahat yung hindi na ako maniwala niyan they are not allowed to work. Since I cannot depend on the idiots, what should I do? Follow the rule that itong army, police, hindi makata. And if my country is sinking, you want me to follow a rule that cannot help my country? I will not. Want to impeach me? Go ahead.
And despite the president's lack of interest in the speakership race, Makabayan Block House Speaker's Bet Carlo Zarate believes President Duterte will still endorse a bet for the lower house top post since multiple administration allies are vying for the spot.
Pipili pa rin siya ng kanyang speaker, no? To push for his legislative agenda and for his political survival up to 2022. No? Kaya kailangan may utang sa kanya yung speaker. So, pero yung speaker na yan, hindi siya nakakasiguro hanggang kailan siya tatagal. No? Dahil talagang in the next 3 years, itong mga paksyon sa loob ng koalisyon na yan, ay magigirian yan. No? Dahil hindi na nagkakatugma yung kanilang mga interes.
Meanwhile, here are the biggest stories from the dailies. The Philippine Star reports that the Philippines and China are set to compare the results of their respective investigations on the sinking of a Filipino fishing boat near the Reed Bank. DFA Chief Teddy Boy Locsin said he would compare the leaked Coast Guard report with a copy he received from the Transportation Department. Locsin rejected a joint investigation on the matter but said he will study China's independent report against our own. It's nothing but wishful thinking. This was Malacanang's response to CPP founder Joma Sison's remarks that the U.S. could stage a coup against President Duterte. Sison said the U.S. could take Duterte's presidency down as he challenged the superpower to wage a war against China amid territorial disputes in the West Philippine Sea. Palace spokesperson Sal Panelo shrugged off this and smeared dirt on Sison's credibility, saying and again mentioning how he is living comfortably in exile while his comrades fight and die to the mountains. And this from the business world. The Mistratel Consortium is set to complete its award as the country's new major telco player. That's with the receipt of its permit to operate along with its radio frequencies from the government today. The Dennis Uy-led consortium said it will receive all of this in a ceremony in Malacanang this afternoon. And in sports, the young Gilas squad is now gunning for 13th place finish over at the FIBA Under-19 World Cup in Greece. Paulo Del Rosario will tell us more.
The Gilas Pilipinas youth continues their quest for a breakthrough win at the 2019 FIBA Under-19 World Cup in Greece. After going winless throughout the campaign, the Philippines figures in the classification round for the 13th to 16th places in the tournament. A win would give the Filipinos a shot at finishing the event at 13th place out of 16 nations, as well as ending a 40-year drought in the competition. Standing in their way, regional rivals China, who whipped the Philippines 76-57 in their last meeting in Thailand just 1 year prior. A fairly even first half sees the Philippines tout a slim 41-37 advantage over China at the halftime break. Then the Filipinos come alive in the third frame. A blistering 31-20 third quarter performance for the Gilas Pilipinas youth sees them lord a 72-57 advantage over their Chinese counterparts. The lead going into the payoff period proves to be too much for China to overcome, as the Philippines nabs an 86-72 victory. Fouls limit Kaisoro's contribution for the Philippines, scoring just 5 points and collecting 2 rebounds, a far cry from his tournament averages. Dave Ildefonso continues his stellar individual campaign and racks up 21 points, 7 assists, and 8 rebounds in the win. Carl Tamayo chips in with 20 markers, while James Spencer and Ryan Amsali adds 11 apiece. The journey isn't finished for the Gilas Pilipinas youth just yet. Up next is a battle for 13th place, with New Zealand to conclude the tournament. Paulo De Rosario, we are One News.
Let's fast break now to Sports Rush. Terrence Jones posted another triple-double and demolished Blackwater Elite yesterday to clinch a twice-to-beat advantage for TNT Katropa. Jones finished with 36 points, 16 rebounds, and 14 assists to lead his team to their 7th straight win. Meanwhile, the Alaska Panthers went all-Filipino as they fought against the Alaska Aces in Game 2. That's after Denzel Bowles suffered a knee injury late in the second quarter. But despite missing their import, Raider Shine still managed to come out with the victory at 86-84 after Mark Borboran stepped up and scored the last 11 points for his team. And over at the NBA, the Los Angeles Clippers has secured the top free agent Kawhi Leonard. But that's not all. The Clippers also snatched Paul George from the Oklahoma City Thunder. And speaking of OKC, Russell Westbrook wants to be out as well. But expert says other squads might not want to absorb his remaining contract since he is set to earn almost $50 million even if he's already 34 years old. Now, more than 24 countries formally urging the United Nations to launch a probe into President Rodrigo Duterte's war on drugs. It marks the first time that the UN Human Rights Council is being asked to address the issue. Marian Enriquez has the story.
Over 24 countries, mostly European states, are formally asking the United Nations to look into the thousands of killings under President Rodrigo Duterte's drug war. Iceland has submitted a draft resolution urging the government to prevent extrajudicial executions. It is the first time that the Human Rights Council is being asked to address the controversial issue. The UN Human Rights Council has 47 member countries, which include the Philippines. Michelle Bachelet is its High Commissioner.
Even the officially confirmed numbers of 5,425 deaths would be a matter of most serious concern for any country. I welcome the recent statement by special rapporteurs calling for action by the Council.
The resolution doesn't sit well with Malacanang. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo says the move is a blatant interference with our sovereignty.
The problem with this, those who initiated it, they're believing in the false news, the false information, the false narratives initiated and spread by those who hate the president's guts and political will, and supported by some questionable members of not media mainstream, but outside of that.
In a statement, Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara said the government need not be told what to do about the killings because it has never been the policy to tolerate such killings. But Guevara says the government is prepared to face an inquiry. PNP spokesman Bernard Banach said the institution believes that the issue is a local problem which needs a local solution. He said a UN investigation is unnecessary.
Cases are filed and suspects are charged, and after a process, they get convicted. So we have a criminal justice system that is working, vibrant, and effective. So insofar as the plan of the UN body, this would have to pass through the executive department.
Banach cited the case of the 3 policemen convicted for the killing of Kian de los Santos in Caloocan City. PNP records show that over 6,600 suspected drug dealers have been killed during police anti-drug operations, while human rights activists say that at least 27,000 have been killed since the Duterte administration's war on drugs started in 2016. The Geneva Forum is set to vote on the resolution before July 12. For News 5, Marian Enriquez, we are One News.
Now, in other news, newly minted Manila Mayor Isko Moreno has been making rounds with his get-it-done style of governance in his first week as local chief executive. Moreno says this is just the start. Justin Punsalang has the report.
Just a week into his new post as the head of the city of Manila, Mayor Isko Moreno already made headlines with his public display of governance. Moreno immediately went to work ordering the clearance of the street vendors in Divisoria to make the shopping area more accessible for everyone. Though the move has earned mixed reactions, recall that it has been one of his campaign promises ever since.
Lilinisin ko yun. Pag hindi kayo nakadaan doon, I will treat you for lunch.
Aside from the Divisoria cleanup, Moreno also rejected a building proposal near the Quiapo Church which he says may be just another photo bomber in Manila, similar to the high-rise now visible when you take pictures at the Rizal Monument in Luneta. Last week, Moreno also destroyed a fire volunteer outpost that has been causing traffic in a street in Binondo. Netizens have lauded the active stance of the city government under Moreno's lead, and the local chief executive says more is yet to come. Meanwhile, fire broke out on Sunday in an informal settlement near the Manila City Jail. The blaze on Santa Cruz, Manila reached fourth alarm and left at least 40 homeless. The flames also reportedly spread to Fabella Hospital, prompting the evacuation of patients. There has been no casualty reported and authorities are still trying to determine the cost of damage. Officials from the Manila City Jail, however, have a request to the government.
Na kung pwede, ilayo yung mga informal sector sa bakod namin. Unang-una po, pinanggagalingan nito ng kontrabando sa loob ng kulungan. Pangalawa, tuwing ganito po may sunog, nadadamay po yung loob ng kulungan natin at mga towers natin. At ang lupain pong ito, sa pagkakaalam din po namin, ay property ng Old Bilibid compound.
For News 5, Justine Punsalang, we are One News.
Now, after netizens went crazy over the new Ariel, let's check out another Disney princess who sadly won't be having her trusty dragon aid by her side. I'm not talking about Westeros Daenerys, but this time, let's watch this.
It is my duty to fight.
And that's how today is shaping up to be. Join us again next time for another round of Rush. I'm Risa Diaz. We are One News.